Hi everyone, this is Victor Pandian. I'll be the instructor for you this session. Alright, so my name is Victor Pandian from Learn Digital Academy. In this session, we'll be understanding how to create a tracking template for our search campaign or for Google Ads. Yeah, so let's understand first what is tracking template. Now, the tracking template is where you put tracking information. You can use URL parameters to customize your final URL. When an ad is clicked, the information is used to create your landing page URL. Now these answers, whatever we are going to put over here, what are the tracking that we are going to do, this result that we can see on our Google Analytics. Okay. Now let's understand this part over here. Now can you see this? So here LP URL means landing page URL, or you can call it as LURL. So landing page URL, under landing page URL, what I'm focusing on, I want to track the device, which device my customer is using to click my advertisement. Okay. Or which campaign, from which campaign is giving me the fruit, that I need to track. Which ad group he is using, the customer is using which ad group. So to track that, I'll be setting this. So here it is simple. Landing page URL, device is equal to device. I'll be focusing on device. I'll be tracking the device over here. I'll be tracking the campaign. I'll be tracking the ad group. I'll be tracking the keyword. I'll be tracking the match types. So you can focus on whatever you want to track. Okay. It depends upon your campaign and your requirement. So ideally what happen, a tracking template at the ad group and campaign or account level applies to all of the ads in the corresponding ad group, campaign or an account. If you define multiple tracking templates at the different levels, the more specific template is being used. The keyword tracking template is more specific, followed by the ad and ad group and campaign and the account. So we have to determine like what I have to track for each and every single campaign. Why we have to track all this? Okay, it is very simple. To improve your performance, okay, to know your ROAS, return on ad spend, to check which ad is underperforming so that you can optimize that, and it will help you in taking up the decision. Okay, so it will help you in benefit the estimation and the delivery part, and you'll be having a organized learning of your campaign. So for that, you'll be focusing on your tracking template. Now for this, there are two kind of method where we can do the tracking template. The method number one is you have to understand the tracking template URL parameters, and based on that you have to set what are the things that you're focusing on. So these are used by the advanced advertisers. The simple way I can teach you, the can you see the second option over here, that is URL builder. In this method also you can use. Let me show you the both of methods. So let's understand. Let's go to Google. So can you see this link? So let's go to this Google and understand how this tracking parameters work. Let me scroll down. All right. Now can you see this final URL tracking template and custom parameter? Now parameters and what it returns. So campaign ID, can you see the campaign? If you want to focus on the campaign, that is campaign ID, use this when you have set up your tracking info at the account level and what to know which campaign served your ad. So for that, this is how you have to do. Campaign is equal to campaign. That ID you have to get. The next one is group, that is ad group. Now this one is feed item for your shopping campaign. Then we have target ID. Then we have location interest. Then we have match types. So we have all the good options over here. Now what is GCLID? Google click identifier of a click that comes from your ad. Okay, so these are the tracking parameters. Now who will remember all this? Yes, as an advertiser it's your duty to remember all this, or we have a second method to do to create a tracking template. So for that we have two tools over here which I have discovered. So let's go to Google. We can either go for this particular tool, campaign URL builder over here. So all we need to do is we have to just put our details. So website URL will be always your final landing page URL. You can focus on your campaign source, whether it is Facebook, it is Google, or it is an email. Then campaign medium, I'm focusing on PPC campaign. Now campaign name, it is Samsung 123, whatever I'm given on the while creating the campaign. Then mobile term, sorry, the campaign term will be the mobile phone, and campaign, the campaign content, like how do you differentiate your advertisement. So it could be grocery or it could be smartphones, anything. Now that you have to give over here. Now once you give that, you'll be getting the UTM parameters over here. Can you see UTM source is equal to Google, UTM medium is equal to PPC, UTM campaign is equal to Samsung 123, UTM term is equal to mobile phone. So these things which we have to copy and we have to use it on Google. So I'll show you how to put it on Google final URL. Now before that, let's understand the second option as well. Let's go to this PPT again. Let me copy this particular tool. Let me open it in a new tab. Yep. So can you see the details here? The same thing. You have to give your website URL, the campaign source, the campaign medium, campaign name, campaign type, campaign content. So let's do this quickly. So I'll be able to give all the details over here. So campaign source, I should focus on. We are focusing on Google, right? Campaign medium, it is CPC campaign what I'm creating. Campaign name, let's say Samsung 123. For learning purpose, I have picked this campaign term so I can focus on the paid keywords. So let's say I'm focusing on Samsung, yes, Samsung Galaxy. All right. And the campaign content, how do we differentiate? So I'm differentiating this with a smartphone. Okay, so let's click build URL over here, and let me scroll down. Can you see the URL content? The same thing, whatever you saw in the previous tool, this tool also gives you the relevant UTM parameters. Can you see here UTM source, Google, UTM source, medium is CPC, the same thing, whatever you have got over here. Now this also we can use it for the Google campaign. Now where can we see all this? So let's take an example of MBA colleges. So I'll go to Google and search for MBA colleges, and I'll be clicking on this result over here. Kindly observe the URL over there. Can you see here? Okay, the source, that is the UTM source, it's Google, medium it's CPC, and campaign name what they have created is BSBI Global, and search India, and they are focusing on the match type as well. They're focusing on the term, they're focusing on the ad position, they're focusing on the creator, they're focusing on the physical location, they're tracking every single thing. Can you see GCLID over here? Google click identifier. So basically what they are trying to do, they are trying to understand from which location, which gadgets, which particular campaign, everything they want to track. Now this we have to set it. Okay, so let's check it practically how we are going to set this. So for this we have to go into google.com, googleads.com. Let's sign in. So there are two ways to do it. One is while creating a campaign, we have a section where we can put this tracking template over there. The second option what we have is towards your left side. Okay, so that also we can do. So let me show you the first part. Let me click on the new campaign. So let me randomly quick example for you. Pick an example. All right. So this is the page one where I have to set my tracking template URL. So can you see this campaign URL option? Now I just need to click on this. The tracking template URL, I have to paste it like this. Okay, so this will give you my Google Analytics. Can you see this Google Analytics UTM parameter? Now this result I can see in Google. So you can either opt for this particular tool, or you can go for the second tool like this. Or if you feel I can do it manually, this is the Google support link which I've given over here. You just need to click on this. You'll be getting this particular link. Whichever parameter that you want to track, you can track this. Okay. So after this, you have to do the entire formalities. The result will be seen in Google Analytics. Now let me show you the method 2 over here. For which you have to click on the Google Ads, go back to your home page. Let me discard this sample campaign. Now towards your left, you have the page options, right? So what you have to do, so once you have added this, towards your left, can you see this campaign, ad group and everything? So let's click on ad group. Let me select the campaign where I want to add the tracking template. Let's say I want to focus on this one. Okay, let me click on this and let me click on the edit part. So can you see the tracking template over here? You just need to click on this and paste your tracking template which you have copied. Okay, so just that's, you just need to apply it. Now you are good to go. And this is how you have to set your tracking template parameters. Now, hope this session was really informative for you people understanding the tracking template, from where we are getting it, what is the UTM parameters. Okay, so let's understand few more things over here. So let me go to the slides. Now, UTMs in Google Analytics. Once you have created a URL with the Google Analytics URL builder, you can track these visitors by campaign under Analytics acquisition section. Assuming you have the Google Analytics tracking code on your website. You can also filter down reports, dashboards, views to the campaign you used in the UTM tracking code. Some folks like to use the Google URL builder, but I would like to say it is not that flexible compared to this option. Now, what is the difference between UTM GCLD? You have seen both the things over here in this MBA, right? In this result, you have seen even the GCLID and you have also seen the UTM parameters. Now, let's understand the difference between these two. While it is true that GCLID and UTM are kissing cousins, okay, they aren't distinct in several ways. They are distinct in several ways. First, a little bit background on UTM. It's an acronym that stands for Archin Tracking Module. So Archin was an organization before. What does Archin have to do with any of this? It's the name of an analytics company that Google bought more than a decade ago. What is GCLID? GCLID is Google Click Identifier, is a parameter passed in URL with ad clicks to identify the campaign and other attributes of the click associated with an ad, or tracking and campaign attribution. Okay, so that's the difference between UTM and GCLID. Okay, so that's it all about tracking template. Hope this session was really informative for you. So see you all in the next session. Thank you. All right. Hope this session was very informative. So let us meet again in our next session. Thank you.